Hello, everybody. I'd like to introduce you to Tim Hubbard from Your Digital Hub. Thanks for joining us today, Tim.
No problem, David. Thank you for the invite.
It's a pleasure. Please tell us about your business, what you do, and where it fits in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Our business is a digital technology enabling business, really, which helps companies, organizations, and the logistics arena especially review their technology contracts, make sure they're sustainable, they're efficient, they've got the right costs, where savings can be created. And to date, we've been very successful in what we've done.
Okay. And how long has the business been going?
We set the business up, believe it or not, 2 years ago tomorrow, to the date, actually. But I've got 32 years experience in this arena with one business. So, I decided to take that hat off and go in and help support businesses with the knowledge that we've got.
Good, and I hope it's a great success for you. I really do. So, in your tell us about your business sector and how it sees. Is what you do quite unique? Because I've never seen what you do before.
It is very unique. Yeah, like I said before, having 30 years of one business, I didn't do that merry-go-round and mis-selling and going into the wrong places. So, the business got sold to Xerox that I used to work for. So I didn't want to do that. The ripe old age of 55, I stepped back and decided to go back and take the knowledge that we've got into companies. And it's a simple concept, and there is no other company out there like us. We go in, we review technology contracts, and that can be from managed print to VoIP, mobile, IT and cybersecurity, which is really essential, workflow systems, business energy, to just make sure people are getting streamlined. It's tough out there right now, but our USP that we go to market with is we don't charge, and every penny that we save, the client keeps.
Okay, no, that's very good. So it's a no cost benefit, no cost issue for any potential clients for you. Okay, and
That is correct.
and obviously you mentioned you do technology, energy. So is it what I'd call general supplies that most businesses have,
Yeah.
mobile phones,
David, that's sorry for over talking. Yeah, what it's like, David, is us at home. We get our home and buildings contents insurance. It goes up, our car insurance, and we go, oh, it's gone up again. We don't look. There's in today's world, NI, minimum wage, is really, really hurting a lot of businesses. So if people look at their technology contracts, which are run of the mill, which everybody's got photocopiers, everyone's got mobiles, everyone's got VoIP. The issue is that a lot of businesses that were supplying that pre-COVID have gone, or they've been bought by PEs or VCs. So we give a totally independent view of what people are paying, what they need, and what is right for their business today. That's the unique part of it. What do you need, not what you need to be sold. So it's that underlying trend, David, of business technology and the contracts that people never look at.
Okay, and obviously that's really good to understand your business. So with we're going off script a little bit, but with AI and mobile phones and that stuff, are things moving really quickly or slowly? What was the situation?
The COVID obviously pushed AI forward. AI has been in our life for a long, long time. It's on mobile phones known as Siri, and photocopiers can order their own toner and remote diagnostics. But yeah, I mean, with working from home, remote working, AI, it's two little letters with a very big scope, and it is, what is AI and what can it do for your business? But it has really, really pushed forward. It's probably 5 years ahead of where it was going to be. But that has also enabled people to become more sustainable, more green, more efficient with their workflow processes, and use less energy. So yeah, and David, I'll be completely honest, a lot of people put their head in the sand and say, we don't need it, I don't understand it, I don't want it. But there is ways to do that. And that's what myself and the team at Your Digital Hub do. We take people through that process of, where are you in your business today? And where do you want to be in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, so it's a matching and timing, I suppose. Oh, great. Okay. So if you was describing the current challenges in your marketplace and the marketplace,
Yeah.
how would you summarise those?
I think the biggest challenges today, and I was at a Bank of England forum with the Chamber of Commerce yesterday, which is not usually where I go, but it was just to go and listen. Is the hesitancy of businesses to review their contracts? A lot of people are saying, it's like a game of poker. I'll stick, but sticking maybe not the right thing to do, because there are ways to streamline businesses, streamline contracts, ensure you've got the best practices in your company, and it's not that expensive to do. And I mean, to date, David, we've saved over £3.5 million for 16 companies in our first 20 odd months, and that has just been by a bit of due diligence of looking at people's contracts for them and saying, don't hesitate, keep growing, because the more that the country stops and businesses stop, that the wheels of business will continue to slow down. So it is that hesitancy and the nervousness, and it's fully, I fully appreciate why people are nervous, in business today, because nobody knows what's around the corner.
Okay. And what do you see the biggest opportunities and threats for what you do over the next 3 to 5 years?
I mean, the biggest opportunity for ourselves is to basically grow our offering and support more and more businesses. And, this is around the logistics arena today. And, we've just recently helped a logistics company save a lot of money on a mobile phone contract. And that they wouldn't have known about us, unless they met us and it came via LinkedIn. And what we're trying to say to people is, the threat to your business today is cybersecurity. Mobile phone, because your mobile phone now, David, it's like a third hand to people. It has documentation on, e-sign on, banking on, personal details, and that's a threat to businesses. If they don't review what they've got, then in the next 3 to 4 to 5 years, they'll either be left behind, or there can be, like some of the cyber attacks lately. Who'd have thought, on the size of companies that got attacked, that would happen? And all we do is take the knowledge out of here and the other guys in the business and go in and ask people those questions, David. What's troubling you today? What's the problem in your business? Can we help?
Okay, no, thank you. And what are the threats then? Is it lack of, or just sticking, to quote you what you said earlier? Just is that a threat?
Yeah, one of the biggest threats I see right now is the skilling workforce. Is a real big threat to business. Aging companies that have got employees that have been there, like myself. I was at business for over 30 years. So the threat to that business is, if you stay still today, it may be really, really safe and it may be good, but what will it be like when you move forward in the next 2, 3, 4 years? When, look, AI will, whether we like it or not, AI is here to stay, and it is changing the way that the world works. We know that people do scripts on ChatGPT, they do proposals, but that is a threat to business, because it is just an AI bot telling you what you should be doing. You need the right skill set in your company. You need the right workflow processes in your company as well, where sustainability is a huge thing, of green technology in the logistics arena. The main thing they'll focus on are fuel costs, staffing costs, and things like that. But in the background, there are threats with AI, cybersecurity, that people aren't looking at today. And it's just opening the eyes, really, to what is out there.
Okay, no, wonderful. Appreciate that. And what are people in the sector not talking about that perhaps they should be?
I think what they're not talking about is the success. We are still, as a nation, and especially in the business world, we get stuck in and we go for it and what we're doing. But people should be talking about the success of their businesses, what the future planning is. Everything's gone against us, from Brexit and COVID, and changing governments, budget changes. But there are some success stories out there, and people don't like to talk about success when others are failing. But the ones that are failing, it's not down to their own fault. There've been some terrible policies put in place around NI and minimum wage and business rates increases. But that there are also threats out there, like with the cybersecurity, and people will always say it will never happen to us until it does. And I've been in rooms with people and on calls with people, and it's a devastating thing that happens. And that can come from a phone, an email, a photocopier that's linked to, an email address. So there are a lot of threats out there, David, as well, that people just always think it won't happen to us.
Yeah, and I can speak from experience, both some that are public and some that are never public, of some big logistics companies that have been affected dramatically, by cyber attack. Okay, no, that's great, and thanks for that. How do you see the green transition impacting what you do, but also the logistics sector?
I think in the logistics sector, you've got to look at how you can, optimize and track energy usage. But believe it or not, now there are, there's things even from when the lorry leaves a warehouse. The warehousing is 24/7 in the logistics sector, and there's lighting on and there's energy on all of the time. There's new products out there for smart building technology, and that can control sensors in the lights, that controls the temperature, it controls kilowatt hours, and there's so much that can be done before the lorries leave logistics warehousing that people don't know about. Unbelievable products, David, that are coming out there, and also I think where you're talking about energy. Energy encompasses, especially for logistics, it's more about emissions, isn't it? The emissions from the lorries and everything that's going out there. But what is the hub using as energy wise? Does it need to have the power on 24/7? Does the lighting need to be on all the time? Do we need to be printing off, like you say, the logistics arena uses a hell of a lot of paper, but there are workflow processes that can streamline that, and green sustainability with paper is huge in the logistics sector.
And when you talk to companies, and including logistics, without going to any names, is the green transition sort of high on their priority, or is it a nice pain in the backside?
It is a pain in the backside, and it would be to anybody of probably our age as well, thinking really. But businesses, when they're going for tenders now and what the government are putting in, you've got to meet your corporate social responsibility, your ESR levels as well. But there's products out there, David, that people think, I don't want to invest £250,000 into a system that's going to save me money over the next 10 years. You can actually OPEX these systems now. So you can, you make your savings on your kilowatt hours, on your carbon emissions for the building, your BMS, your HVAC, and it's all controlled by a SIM in a light. And it's an amazing product, and it's very new to the market. We've recently put it into a college in the Midlands, and the reduction in their kilowatt hours has been over 40%. Just to 40% on their kilowatt hours. It can even track occupancy, so it can see where people are in the building and things like that. So, people think we don't want to get involved in it. It's going to cost us money. It's not. There are other ways around it these days, but people just need to understand what's out there.
No, thank you for that. And as they say, you only know what you know, and sometimes you don't know as much as you think.
Absolutely.
As much as you'd like to know. Okay, no, thank you. And during your sort of career in the sort of digital world, what developments surprised you most in your career so far?
I think AI has just blown everybody away, because it's like I said, it's two little words, and it's what you want AI to do for your business. Like I said, it's in a phone. It's called Siri, but there are ways that it can help workflows, and I've seen some new documentation workflow coming out from my old industry, which was the photocopier arena, really, as it's called now, the managed print. And when you see the workflow systems, David, that have come into place that stop people needing to produce this, because when COVID hit, the business I was in, our service levels and what people were printing dropped by over 70%, and it never came back, and it will never come back because of workflow technology, streamlining documents, e-signing on a phone. There's a lot of different things out there, and the speed has been exponential from that. And but it ticks a green box because you're not printing, you're not using energy so much. You haven't got 10 photocopiers where you can probably have 2. And there's a lot of different things. And that AI and the streamlining of workflow processing, and also the cyber attacks, that they're the 3 things that are really, really ramped up that I can see.
Okay, thank you. The final question that I ask everyone, and you mentioned some things about politics earlier. So, if you could speak to the Prime Minister, then what would you ask them to do to assist your business and other businesses to grow and flourish?
I think we spoke about this yesterday, and it's about basically more adoption in digital technologies. You put digital technology in and people get absolutely petrified. Digital technology is a mobile phone. It's a laptop. We're talking on it now, but it is in the logistics, the manufacturing arena. People get scared by it, David. They think it will, impact on what has been a traditional business. And the messaging from the government is all around AI and future proofing of this. But it's what is the run of the mill business and what does it need to be successful, sustainable, green, more efficient. And the government just keeps saying AI, AI, and AI, but that is not the answer that I see really. When you walk into an office and you take large logistics companies, they'll have desks of people managing laptops, printers, PDAs for drivers. There's a lot of things that go on, but do they know what is out there, or are they just being sold what they think they need? And the government don't really get that message across to, especially SMEs, is what I'll say.
Okay, no, thank you. Okay, great. And thanks so much for your time, Tim. And I'm sure our viewers and listeners will like it. And obviously, I'm sure they can reach out to you through LinkedIn and other ways if they've got some interest to have a conversation with you. Thanks so much for your time, Tim.
David. Yeah, and thank you for the invite. And it's really great what you're doing as well. I like that you're putting this message across to logistics. I think many more people should do it in their own sectors as well. I really do.
Thanks very much. It's a pleasure.
Fabulous. Thank you, David.